Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be understanding self-esteem to eliminate it. You know, and society teaches us the wrong lessons all the time about a bunch of things, and so you really need to question what you hear. And basically what we're taught in America is that you don't want a low self-esteem, which I could understand that, but they teach you that you want a high self-esteem, which that's not really what you want either. There is a higher level than high self-esteem, and that's what we're going to talk about. So the first question is, and again, notice how I'm questioning things. I'm using those 9 principles of falling away of growth to investigate what is self-esteem. So that's principle 5, questioning. So self-esteem is a judgment of yourself. Now, it could be a judgment of you compared to somebody else, or it could be a judgment of you to what you believe your potential is. If you think you're the greatest person to ever walk the face of the earth, and you're falling short of that, then you might be depressed, have low self-esteem, or basically more realistic, you probably are falling short of what you think your potential is. You get depressed about it, or you have low self-esteem. But typically, it seems to be in comparison to other people. If you see somebody that's got more than you, got more whatever of everything, basically, then you start feeling bad about yourself. You get a low self-esteem. You start hanging out with people less than you, that have less than you. You have more than them in every dimension of life. You start feeling like you have high self-esteem. So it's a lot of judging, and basically judging is ego. And judging basically it divides something that is whole into parts. So basically everything is energy. All is one, really. That's all it is. But your mind comes out and divides it. It takes something that's whole and just divides it out. So really the division only exists in your mind. It does not exist in reality. It's only in your mind. I mean, other people may agree with you, but it's only a division in your mind and their minds. It's not a division in reality. Okay. So basically, self-esteem is an egotistical mindset which separates you from other people. It's not a good thing. Okay, so here's basically how it works. I'll give you a quick diagram. Okay, so notice again, we start with our fundamental problem of ego. Ego is the belief that you exist. That is your most fundamental belief, and you should always question that. And if you notice some of the, I don't know who said it, but you see it a lot that people say, who am I? It's the question. And basically what you're going at is, do I really believe I exist like I think I do in my mind? Okay. So again, ego is a sense of self. And from ego comes judging. And notice again, ego is dividing people, and it's doing it by judging it. People you run into who you think are less than you, that gives you a high self-esteem. If you judge yourself lower than somebody, then it gives you a low self-esteem. So notice what's going on with that. It's a cycle. You judge somebody, you run into people that's less than you, you get amped up. If they're greater than you, and it's just a constant cycle of like this, depending on who you run into. So my point is, why don't you want to avoid that all together and just get rid of it and be even keeled and have an even progress of growth instead of all this emotional roller coaster? Oh, I feel so good about myself. Oh, I feel so bad about myself. Oh, I feel so good. Go through a manic depressive phase. Okay. So self-esteem is a sense of self. A low self-esteem is basically just a low sense of self. That's all it is. You just feel low because somebody's better than you, or something. You're not doing what you thought you could do. So again, low self-esteem, high self-esteem, it's all ego speak. Okay, next point. What you really want isn't a high self-esteem, but no self-esteem at all. So that's what I was alluding to. You don't want any self-esteem. It don't matter what happens. I can run into the greatest person in the world. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel anything either way. I run into the lowest person in the world. I don't feel nothing either way. So you're not going through this emotional roller coaster. You're accepting everybody for who they are without judgment. That's what you really want. That's a peaceful state of mind. Oh my God, I ain't blah 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 blah. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That's what you really, truly want. But why? You notice how society never preaches that? You know why? Because they don't know diddly squat. They teach you a bunch of BS because they ain't smart. Okay, let me see what else it has. Yeah, again, basically just let people be who they are without judging them and everything's fine. Okay, so So let's say you believe me. Okay, Billy D K Y. I don't want to have low self-esteem. I don't want to have high self-esteem. I want no self-esteem. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, it's not going to be an easy process. You're going to need. It's a very fundamental problem. It stems from your most fundamental belief in yourself, that you exist as a human being, or like you think you exist in your mind. You do exist, but not like you think you do in your mind. Okay, so basically you're going to have to use those nine universal principles of growth to overcome your self-esteem, which really is nothing more than ego. There's not going to be any quick bullet to it. I'm free! I've watched this video. I'm completely free of self-esteem. It don't happen like that. This is just the first step of getting your mind shifted. You're going this way, and I've given you wisdom, and it's like, wait a second. Let me consider this thought this guy's saying. So this is just a momentum shift. You have to actually apply it. You have to start actually questioning yourself. You have to take baby steps. So, like I said, I've given you the knowledge if you want to head in the right direction. This video is giving you the knowledge how to really think about self-esteem. That blog on Following the Way to Growth, I've given you 9 universal principles that you could use those principles to free your mind from self-esteem if you so choose. But obviously, I can't make you do it. All I can do is give you the tools. I can't do it for you. So, and notice again how nobody is your savior except you. So if anybody ever claims to be your savior, guess what they're full of? Themselves. Why are they full of themselves? Because they want a big self-esteem. See how it all relates? When you know the truth, it interconnects all over the place. So anyway, that's sort of funny. Anyway, folks, like I said, if you want to visit the blog on Following the Way to Growth, I think it's over here. It's the first video, or the first link in the information section. And you can go there and check it out and use those tools to help overcome your self-esteem issues. And I think that's it. And if you wouldn't mind, please rate. And until the next video, later, folks.